All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 76th TWitWoW monthly Q&A. It is October 27th of 2022, and of course we will be answering all the questions that have been asked to us over the course of the last month since the end of September when we answered those. We've got 17 total, grand combined 17 questions. So, John, how you feeling?
Feeling good. Let's get into it.
Our first set of questions, as per usual these days, are from Super Blue. First question, are you going to vote in midterm elections?
Unfortunately, yes. Just wish that there were people that got me excited, but
Same.
yes, absolutely.
Yep.
There's definitely a red tide coming in my mind, and I'm just going to do whatever I can to stop it. So.
Yeah, same. All right, question 2. Push 1. This is push 1, return 1, and fire 1, but you get options. So for the push 1, your options are Mustafa Ali, Kevin Owens, and Ricochet.
I'm actually looking at the graphics so that I have a visual component to help me to keep everything together.
Cool.
Definitely Kevin Owens. Always
Right.
going to be Kevin Owens.
I knew you'd pick him. I'll go with Ali.
Excellent.
Return 1, The Rock, John Cena, Undertaker.
John Cena, he can still work a great fucking match.
Same.
Easy.
We agree on that. And fire 1 out of Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, and Edge.
I'm going to actually say Brock for this one. That dude is good. He is good for life. He doesn't need any more fucking gigs, and honestly, I don't want to keep leaning on him. So I'll say Brock.
Same. Yeah, I'm going to say Brock too. It's one of those things where I wish we could just keep getting random Brock matches a few times a year forever until he's, broken down like The Undertaker was when he retired. But, they keep putting him in the world title scene, and I hate it so much.
Not only that, you can get a lot of value out of Brock Lesnar because, the dude bumps, don't get me wrong, but, not that much. He could go a long fucking time, especially if you just keep him on attraction matches. That's where I think the fucking money is.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Third question from Super Blue. How do you feel about the results of Extreme Rules, and will the WWE finally get Bray Wyatt right now that Vince is gone?
I will say, just very generally, I don't really care about the results of Extreme Rules because I'm checked out of the entirety of the WWE product. However, I am utterly and wholly engrossed in everything they're doing with Bray right now. Will they get it right? That depends, because I think the winning formula is just giving Bray mostly creative autonomy and then maybe checking him if you feel like it's getting a little too out there or like it's not grounded enough. But I'm curious to see what Bray can do on his own, because you know what? I think a lot of his fans, myself included, have always kind of insulated him from further criticism on that basis. Well, if he had more autonomy, it wouldn't have flopped. Well, now we'll see, because I think he does have more creative control this time around. It feels different from his other runs, and I hope this is his magnum opus. It has such a different energy to it. I'm loving it right now. Can't wait for tomorrow night to see the latest development. But yeah, Extreme Rules, don't really care. Bray Wyatt, totally invested.
I'm almost... Well, I'm not the opposite, because I'm also very invested in Bray, but as far as Extreme Rules, I'm definitely the opposite of you. I do care, and unfortunately, I fucking hate everything about it, because the matches that I don't give a shit about had perfectly fine winners, but the matches that I cared about going into that show, I despise the winners. So, Ronda Rousey beating Liv, hate it. Karrion Kross beating Drew, hate it. Bianca retaining against Bayley, fucking hate it. I hate all that. And then I don't give a shit about Balor, Edge, or Riddle, Rollins. I don't give a fuck about that. Are you kidding me? Who cares?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Fourth question from Super Blue is, how big of an upgrade is Zelina Vega for Legado del Fantasma?
Honestly, Super Blue, again, I think that's a question of depends, because I think it's all in the writing and the booking. Zelina and Andrade, when they were treated as a serious duo in NXT, were fucking magic together.
If Zelina is used the way that she was used with Andrade for Santos, and she helps him get into a big-time title picture and win a title, big upgrade. Because, and frankly, even just as a worker, she's an upgrade for them over Elektra Lopez, because Elektra Lopez is kind of a fucking mid-worker.
Yeah. I think more or less
as much as Elektra
said,
Lopez gave, Dami Mommy energy, Zelina Vega is a much more proficient and experienced actual wrestler, so...
Yeah. So I more or less agree with what Ashton said. I'm even looking at the image that Super Bowl accompanied with this question. And, that dude's a world champion. I've been saying it from his time in NXT.
Yeah.
Nothing has fucking changed. That dude is a fucking world champion. Now with Ray on SmackDown, honestly, if Ray can last another year, I would maybe hold off on the fucking Dominic Mysterio retirement match, whatever that Ray had planned. I would want Santos to get that rub. I think you give him the opener at Mania, they tear the fucking house down. Invest in fucking Santos, WWE. And I think with Zelina, yeah, they can absolutely do a lot of great stuff, so I'm excited.
All right. Fifth and final question from Super Blue. What are the worst nightmares you've ever had involving wrestling?
Funny thing, I never really had wrestling-related nightmares. No. So when I saw this question, I'm like, You know, I did have a dream once about Chris Benoit's son, David, you know, wrestling for the first time. And I guess that was kind of a nightmare because I did see him do the headbutt, and I was really concerned, like, watching that. That's the closest I have. But yeah, other than that, I've historically never really had much wrestling-related nightmares that I can recall.
No. Yeah, I've never had any negative wrestling dreams at all. I've only ever had positive ones, so can't speak on that. Although I will say, I did have this one nightmare this one time. Oh god, this was a brutal one. I really hate that this ever even showed up in my brain. I had this nightmare that Lucha Underground actually got canceled and was ceased to exist and just wasn't around anymore. That was horrible.
Oh yeah, wow, that's rough, buddy.
I know.
All right.
Next set of questions are from Javaris. First up, is it safe to say that Kenta Kobashi is the GOAT? And if not him, then who?
You know what's always fascinating to me about GOAT questions, Javaris, and I mean this sincerely because I don't blame you for asking this. I've done this. Everybody's done this. You know, it's like who has a monopoly on being the best? And I almost feel like it's impossible because there are so many great wrestlers. Now, I will say, Kenta Kobashi deserves to be in that conversation. 100%. Like, if you're going to have the debate and you're going to try and have it sincerely and in good faith, if Kobashi's name isn't coming out of your mouth, I think you lose credibility personally. The dude was huge for Japanese wrestling, and I would argue just wrestling as a global thing. And the dude's an absolute fucking king. Would I say that he's the GOAT? Not really for me to say. You know, I do wonder how many more years I'm going to be actively watching any kind of wrestling. Like, I know Stardom's got me by the balls right now, but I do wonder with the way that Ash and I both have been kind of feeling, because we were even talking about it the other night, just we seem to be checked out emotionally as so much stuff. You know, if I'm not watching by 10 years, maybe I'd look back on my active fandom and say Danielson or a Guerrero or a Michaels or whatever, but Kobashi would definitely have to cross my mind, for sure. I mean, the dude's a fucking beast. Do you have anything you want to add to this?
I think given, like, let me put it this way. If we're only taking into consideration people whose careers are definitively over, then I would say personally that yes, Kobashi is my GOAT. That said, there are a lot of people whose careers are still going that I think will end up being in that conversation if they're not already, like Danielson, like Okada, like Tanahashi, etc., etc.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
And if he ever gets fucking used correctly, he has the talent that Andrade could potentially be in that conversation as well.
Definitely. Without a fucking doubt, dude.
All right. Next up from Javaris, second and final question. Powerhouses. Or no. That means I skipped. It's what are your thoughts on Kobashi and Misawa as wrestlers, and would you place them on your personal Mount Rushmore of wrestlers?
Kobashi definitely. Misawa, I'd have to take a pause on that. I think only for the wrestlers that he inspired and that they, you know, took his moves from because he was an innovator in that way, like a Joe and stuff like that. I think that more than his actual career for me personally. But yeah, I think, look, if you're looking at what he did for AJPW and just his career as a whole, yeah, probably. But I'm just a bigger Kobashi fan than Misawa fan. So for me, Kobashi is absolutely an enthusiastic yes.
Yeah, I would say, I would agree. Kobashi, definite yes. Misawa, definite no. I don't think Misawa belongs anywhere near it. I think Misawa is one of the most overrated wrestlers of all time at this point.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. All right.
All right, so next up, we've got Angel's questions. First up, powerhouses have always been his favorite type of wrestler. Guys like Lesnar, Goldberg, Lashley, and even Matanza from Lucha Underground, a.k.a. who we know now as Jeff Cobb. Who are your favorite powerhouses ever, and why?
Loved early 2000s Kane, because I grew up on that shit. I'll never forget when, in the lead up to No Mercy, which I know, horrible storyline, Katie Vick, all that bullshit, but Kane had an amazing segment where Triple H had just beaten Van Dam in a lumberjack match. And Kane comes out and he destroys all the lumberjacks, concluding with him slamming Rosie and Jamal. and it was such an amazing fucking visual. And I used to hear stories that Kane was legit before his injuries, the strongest guy in the locker room. Even was a genuine challenge for Lesnar in arm wrestling. So Kane definitely. I'll be honest, I enjoy Scott Steiner's brief stint, and I've gone back and I've watched some of his earlier stuff. Scotty's fucking great. Powerhouse wrestlers. So Kane, Scott Steiner, and I feel like there's one more that I wanted to mention. I mean, you can't go wrong with Lesnar at all. Hernandez. Hernandez is another one. I fucking enjoyed that dude. Supermax. Fuck yeah. So yeah, I'll leave it to that three because I'm not going to keep hemming and figure out answers. But yeah, those are some pretty dope power wrestlers. What about you, bro?
Definitely doubling down on Scott Steiner. Scott Steiner's an amazing powerhouse, and the fact that he was doing crazy flippy shit in like the 70s and 80s before anyone else, and that he was that much of an innovator is unbelievable. So Scotty for sure. Jeff Cobb, 100% going to sign on to that as well. Brock Lesnar is, I mean, good lord, a once-in-a-generation, and maybe even arguably once-in-a-lifetime type athlete, because there was never one before him, and there was not been one after him, and really the only other guy that I would even put on anywhere close to that level is early Scott Steiner, because he was doing some crazy shit too, but even he would, like, he was more of a botch machine, and Brock Lesnar, everything he does is just clean as fuck, so, like, definitely put Lesnar above Steiner. I would also say, like, in current, more recently, but not necessarily current, Mark Henry. 100% Mark Henry.
Yeah, I'm so glad Javaris mentioned him because I fucking agree. Mark Henry, absolutely.
Yeah, Mark Henry's Hall of Pain run was incredible. As far as more current guys, and of course we can't forget women go, I would definitely put Utami up there as far as the women go. I would definitely put, as far as guys go, would you consider Lance Archer to be a powerhouse? Because I think I would, and I think I'd put him on that list.
I would, and I would agree with you.
I know you already mentioned him, Angel, but definitely Bobby Lashley. I'll never forget when he broke out of the Master Lock. Batista is a great one.
Yes.
God, who else is a really good powerhouse? I'm trying to think of more like today, like current day, right now type guys, and I feel like that's a breed of wrestler that is just not around as much anymore.
Cage, I guess.
Who?
Cage. Brian Cage.
Brian Cage, yeah, I guess. He's not as much of a powerhouse as he is just a big dude. Like he doesn't really wrestle like a powerhouse. He's like a weird illusion where he's just this big guy that wrestles like a luchador, you know?
Yeah, Wardlow I think could get there, but he needs more time. I think
Keith Lee is a good one.
Keith Lee's an excellent choice.
Keith Lee wrestles like a powerhouse and a luchador at the same time somehow. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop there. It's been fun to think about all these guys, though. Fucking Walter. Yeah, thank you, Javaris. Walter's a great one too, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. He might be the premier one, honestly. Walter.
Current day, yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to our next set of questions. Or no, our second question from Angel, actually. He said, these days I rarely watch wrestling, but match types like the Royal Rumble or Money in the Bank can still excite me. What has been your favorite match type of all time, and why?
I really think Money in the Bank for me, Angel. Like, every time
for you,
when they have
yeah,
a pay-per-view,
I definitely would agree. Just as an outside observer, I feel like nothing in wrestling excites you more than Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I've always loved the concept. I've always thought at its best, it's a tool for the mid-carder or the upper mid-carder that just needs that one little push.
Yeah.
And, you know, obviously they've squandered it the last several years. I don't even know how I have any goodwill left to give the concept. But I still love it, you know, conceptually. So, yeah, Money in the Bank. I think I know your answer, but I want you just to, speak for yourself. What about you?
I would say honorable mention would be like Falls Count Anywhere. I've mentioned that before. I love Falls Count Anywhere matches and street fights and stuff like that. But if I'm being vague, my favorite match type is anything with staggered entrances. So like a gauntlet match or a Royal Rumble or anything along those lines where there's this anticipation of who's going to come out next. I love those types of matches, and really, more specifically, I love when those matches are done well. Because those matches, when they're done well, can tell so fucking many stories in one match. It's incredible. Plus, the little hit of dopamine that you get every time someone's, music hits is always fun too. If I have to be very specific, I will say Aztec Warfare.
Oh, nice.
So, what
Nice.
were you expecting me to say?
I was expecting you to say Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
But yeah, Aztec Warfare was fantastic.
Yeah, the only reason that I say Aztec Warfare over Royal Rumble is because I really like that you actually have to pin or submit someone rather than just being able to eliminate them over the top.
Yeah, they make you earn that shit.
Exactly. And, like, I really don't like that the main event of WrestleMania isn't determined by who the best wrestler is. It's just a luck thing. It's just who can throw one over the top rope, and who doesn't, kind of thing.
Exactly.
So then we get to our penultimate question set, and that is Kid Coheed, who, of course, for his first question, said, Spooky Month Recap.
All right. Yeah, I've done American Horror Story with the family. We did double feature, which was 2 stories. Red Tide and Death Valley. Red Tide was one of the best stories they've done in a long time. Death Valley was a bit underwhelming to me, but I know my family liked it more because they're all about like those conspiracy theories and shit, and it definitely kind of leaned heavily into that. I just thought Red Tide was fantastic. We've done Cabinet of Curiosities, the first, I want to say, 3 episodes. I know there are more out now that I'm probably going to watch with my family tomorrow. In fact, we might even do the remaining 4 tomorrow. Guys, it is amazing. If you're a Guillermo del Toro fan, if you're a fan of like a horror with practical effects, the second episode, Graveyard Rats, has an amazing practical effect that I read wasn't CGI. In fact, it was funny because the stuff in that episode that I thought was practical was CGI, and the stuff that I thought was CGI was practical. Mindfuck. Yeah, Cabinet of Curiosities, scratch that fucking itch for you. I will tell you, it is amazing.
Oh my god, I do
This
want to cut you off here because I want to correct myself. It's not Kid Coheed who asked these questions, it's Rotten Butter.
I thought so, because he did say he's arrived, and I'm like, oh, okay, so he did get... Okay.
Yeah, that was my
still makes
mistake.
more
I
sense.
actually had it written down wrong in my spreadsheet, so that's my problem.
No, that's all right. But yeah, just kidding about my friends. Oh yeah, so not necessarily spooky per se, but we've done Unsolved Mysteries because they got a new volume out. Fucking love Unsolved Mysteries. The latest one actually was a UFO one, so it's funny that I mentioned the American Horror Story. The season we were on did an alien story, kind of synergy there. But and I don't mean this in like a macabre way. I always do enjoy like the murder stories more because some of them are just so fucking bizarre. Like how the hell? And one we watched, I'd get into it, but I don't want to detract from the question. It's wild, and it just further shows police incompetency and why we shouldn't stop and defund the police. We need to say with our whole chest, abolish the police, because I guarantee there'd be a lot less unsolved mysteries in my mind if we just had an entity that did its fucking job and did it thoroughly. So yeah, Unsolved Mysteries. What else have we been doing? Because I feel like we've gotten movies in there. I know you and I have done stuff. Like, obviously, we did the Goosebumps movie most recently. That was cool. We did the Solar Opposites Halloween special. So we've done, like, we did Halloween Ends, which, God, that movie's fucking terrible, but that last act is just genuinely so good. Oh, yeah, we started the show, my family and I, Home Sweet Home, which I think is another Korean show. Let me tell you something, guys. Netflix is starting to lose a lot of its value for my family. I'm guessing we're going to keep it for the foreseeable future because there is still so much stuff to watch. But the foreign programming on it, oh my god, that shit is that's a treasure trove. If you guys haven't checked out any of the Korean stuff or any of just the foreign stuff in general that they have on there, check it out. But some of the best stuff I've watched on there comes from like Egypt or Korea or whatever. It's amazing. So yeah, Home Sweet Home. That's been really exciting. I think we've only done 2 or 3 episodes of that. I don't know how many there are in the first season. So that was fantastic. Trying to think what else we've done. I'm kind of blanking because I'm just thinking about more like the Halloween related stuff explicitly. I know just in general content we did the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special trailer recently.
Can't wait.
That looks like
Werewolf by Night.
Werewolf by Night was fantastic and really shows that Marvel can go outside of its comfort zone and fucking kill it. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania trailer, that was big talk. Jonathan Majors, it looks like it's going to be his fucking movie, which it should be. That dude is amazing as Kang the Conqueror.
If we're sticking with the spooky theme, nope.
Nope, yes, which was great. And actually, It's funny how we're kind of bouncing off each other because we have started our rewatch of the entire series of
Big Mouth.
Yeah, and we learned that Jordan Peele actually does
The voice
in
of
Big
Duke
Mouth.
Ellington.
Yeah, which was a shock to both you and I because I
Yeah.
never would have fucking guessed.
No, definitely not.
Foster, actually, thank you for reminding me. We haven't touched Cobra Kai yet, but we should. I'm guessing in November sometime we'll touch Cobra Kai. We have kept up with Rick and Morty. They're on hiatus now
Yeah, the sons of
until
bitches.
November 20th. We finished House of the Dragon. That was really interesting. So, that was good shit. And for me, music-wise, I know Polo G is going to be dropping a new track at midnight tonight. Can't fucking wait for it. Conquer Divide put out a new song, Paralyzed. Never Tell with one of their best fucking tracks called Modified. I know Vortex is going to be dropping an album November 1st. That doesn't count within this month, but it just got me thinking about all the stuff on my music queue. So, yeah, music's been pretty good this month. Yeah, I think I'm going to cede the floor to you, friend, if there's anything that you want to add. Oh, yeah, I've also watched a little bit of the show that I know my sister really likes, Two Sentence Horror Stories. That's also on Netflix. That's pretty good. And, yeah, rewatched some Kenan and Kel, too, which, God, that's so fantastic. All right, what about you, bud? Anything you want to fill in?
Hocus Pocus 1 and 2.
Yes.
Let me pull up our watch list to see what's been recently crossed out. Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yes, that was also very recent, actually, yes.
The entire Predator franchise, except for the
Yes.
AVP movies,
Yes.
including Prey.
Yes.
I mean, we've been watching House of the Dragon, of course.
Yes. Yeah, we just finished that up. I did mention that.
Did we mention, or was it even not this month, that we watched Thor: Love and Thunder finally?
I don't even think that was this month.
Oh,
I
okay.
feel like that was September. I want to say it was September, but I could be wrong.
Wow. Okay. What else have we done this month? It's been a pretty long month, I gotta say.
Yeah, no, it definitely has. There's so much content. Like, even the stuff like you mentioned in Ghostbusters, I'm like, oh yeah, we did do that, and that was so recent.
Yeah, that was like last week, maybe even earlier this week, honestly.
Did She-Hulk end this month?
It might have, yeah. I think it might have.
I know my family and I, we finished Mike Judge's Beavis and Butthead, season 1, the revival. I
Yes.
hear that there's going to be another season in 2023.
Oh,
God,
okay.
I hope so, because I fucking loved it. So, yeah.
It'd be nice if we could get some fucking South Park up in this bitch.
Yeah, I know, man. I know, you're jonesing for it bad. I wonder if anything's been said about that.
I really am.
Yeah, ooh, wow. Alright.
Let's see. What else? I watched Oh Brother, Where Art Thou this month, and I love that movie so much.
Nice.
Let's see. There were announcements as far as the casting of the new Percy Jackson series coming out goes, and Adam Copeland, aka Edge, has been cast as Ares, and Suzanne Cryer, aka fucking Laurie Bream from Silicon Valley, has been cast as Echidna, and Jessica Parker Kennedy, who was in the CW Flash show as Nora West Allen, has been cast as Medusa.
Oh, yeah, bro, that is something I wanted to tell you. That Cabinet of Curiosities that I was talking up, one of the stories actually had Guilfoyle in it. I was like, oh, cool.
David Starr. Or no, not David Starr. That's the dickhead wrestler.
Yeah.
What his last Martin Starr. Martin Starr, that's who it is.
Yeah. Yeah. He was great.
Let's see. What else have we done this month? Barry wasn't this month, was it? No.
No, God, I already can't wait for season 4, which is confirmed to be the final season. I'm totally cool with that. I am.
Yeah.
Jesus, that's going to be amazing.
Yeah. The trailer for Wednesday Addams.
Yes.
I did go see Black Adam with my family.
Yes, that's right. You did.
Speaking of Adams.
Oh, you.
I know, it's silly. Let's see. What else? Let's see. You got me into The Problem with Jon Stewart this month, so thank you for that.
Very cool. I know I have been watching some John Oliver stuff too. That's another thing I did this month. His transgender rights too is fucking amazing. One of the best things he's done.
I think that about covers it. Yeah, I mean, that's just what stuff we watched. As far as like games, I've been still kind of stuck on like the old school games. I played a little bit of Robopon the other day. Played a little bit of Golden Sun like a week or two ago. Getting a little bit of an itch to play Pokemon soon, which kind of coincides with the fact that Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are coming out in a few weeks. I think towards the end of November. Of course, we continue to play Rocket League and Brawlhalla very often. Although there are a few games that I've gotten that I'd like to try. Omega Strikers is like a soccer-ish game that looks like fun. I actually played some Spyro the Reignited Trilogy. I played some of the original Spyro game. Obviously, it's the remastered version on my PC. It's so fun. I beat like the first like 3 or 4 worlds before I kind of got that fatigue that you get when you play a game for a really long time. What else? See. I think I'm going to just leave it at that, honestly, because I can't think of anything else. All right, so let's move on. Our second question from Rotten Butter. I apologize for getting their name wrong earlier. I had it written down wrong in my sheet here. What piece of media has scared you the most?
I would say the first Halloween, 1978's John Carpenter's Halloween, and the first Creep Show, honestly. I remember as a kid, I could not sleep the first night after watching that. That was fucking horrifying. Beyond that, having the curiosities did genuinely get some chills out of me. Trying to think what else has genuinely scared me. God, the world honestly scares me. It's where, like, yeah, no media really
Don't Look Up. Does that qualify as a horror movie?
Don't Look Up. It should. It fucking should. Yeah, like, God, when you're living it. I feel like a few Black Mirror episodes, like 15 Million Mirrors, kind of scared me a little bit at the time.
Nope.
Where's Waldo? Scarier now.
Get Out. Holy shit.
Yeah, Get Out. Get Out was insane. I said, "Where's Waldo?" I should say the Black Mirror episode that was the Waldo moment. So that was my slip up there. But yeah, that's also scary retroactively because of politics. It's gotten even shittier. I didn't think that was possible. Yeah, Get Out. I think you're absolutely right about that. I think I'll kind of stop it there. I think I'm good on that.
I don't think that anything since I've become an adult has scared me anywhere close to how much things scared me when I was a kid. So my sort of 1-2 punch answer is there was a movie that came out called They in '02 that was literally about like this freaky, like demonic alien maybe species of creature that could only exist in darkness, but it would attack you if you went into the dark. Terrified me. And Jeepers Creepers, the first Jeepers Creepers movie I saw way too young probably, and it fucked me up for a really long time to the point that like I was scared to go outside in the dark because I thought the creeper would get me.
Yeah, dude, understandable. Actually, Rotten Butter, that's a great answer too. I watched Chernobyl with my family. Oh my god.
Dude,
I'm like, oh my god.
Not directly related to Chernobyl, but I really want to watch Overlord with you.
Interesting. Okay, I'll look that up. I'll probably say I'm mostly down for stuff that you want to watch together. So
yeah, it's a movie by I want to say J.J. Abrams, or at least it was produced by J.J. Abrams. I'm gonna just read the quick synopsis, if I can find one. Jesus Christ, why is this so difficult sometimes? On the eve of D-Day, American paratroopers drop behind enemy lines to penetrate the walls of a fortified church and destroy a radio transmitter. As the soldiers approach their target, they soon begin to realize that there's more going on in the Nazi-occupied village than a simple military operation. Making their way to an underground lab, the outnumbered men stumble upon a sinister experiment that forces them into a vicious battle against an army of the undead.
Damn.
It was originally supposed to be a Cloverfield movie, but then they decided that they didn't want it to be a Cloverfield movie for some reason.
Well, there you go. Alright, yeah, that sounds cool. I mean, it sounds like a good time, so yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah. Alright, so, third and final question from Rotten Butter. Are we the baddies?
Always. Always.
That is that from, I feel like that's from, like, This Is the End, or, like, whatever that movie is in the fucking trilogy. I'm so bad at remembering titles and words and shit. Shaun of the Dead was part of a trilogy, right?
Yeah.
Was it At World's End that was the other movie in it? There were 2 other movies in it.
Apparently, from the Know Your Meme website, this is from a pretty British comedy show called That Mitchell and Webb Look.
The Cornetto trilogy, that's what it's called. It's Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and The World's End. And I thought that was from Hot Fuzz or The World's End, but I guess it's not.
No, yeah, Know Your Meme again says this is from a British comedy show.
Well, you know, I got to admit, I've literally never connected with British comedy, ever.
Well, there you go. Alright, you said penultimate, so are we at Foster's questions already?
Yes, sir, we are. First up, name a moment on it or in a TV show that brought you back to watching it.
God, you know, I really have to think with, like, even recently with the Bel Air, because I know when they did, like, the arrest and everything, you, like, almost sounded angry just going through, like, I really, like, don't even want to watch this. Like, you sounded almost fed up with it already. But then they get to Bel Air, and you see how cool the family is. Like, I think that moment where he shows up in Bel Air, it's like, okay, now we're comfortable, now we're vibing with this. So I would say most recently, that was a moment with recent programming.
What about you, though?
As far as, what about me? Again, I would kind of share that, even though I was willing to push through because I had heard good things about it. I think for me, I can say BoJack, honestly. So, like, there's an episode in BoJack. I think you have to get 6 episodes, maybe even 8 episodes in the first season. And for most of it, like, I was having fun with it because I like Will Arnett. I like Allison Brie. Fucking Aaron Paul was also in it. So strong voice cast. But it did just seem like your run-of-the-mill celebrity comedy. Like, oh, guys aren't celebrities, so ridiculous and stuff. But then we realized that that's not what the show's about at all. It is about BoJack and his mental illness and his trauma and, like, all that stuff, and him, like, trying to be a better person because this guy that he screwed over, who is dying from cancer, they have this moment where he's like, oh, I just wanted to come and say, I'm sorry. And the guy's like, okay, I don't forgive you. And BoJack is like, I don't think you understand how this works. And he more or less turns in and he's like, no, I'm not going to give you that. I'm not going to accept your apology so that you can feel better. I'm dying. He just gives him this whole lesson, a lesson that so many people need to learn, that you don't owe forgiveness to anybody, especially anybody that's abused you or wronged you, like, deeply. And then I'm like, holy shit, this show is having that conversation. I have to watch this because my friend Ryan pushed me for years to watch this show. He's like, you got to watch it. You got to watch it. I looked at the animation. I looked at the trailer. I'm like, this looks stupid. Like, that was honestly my first thought. I was like, this looks stupid. But then I'm like, you know what? I've known him for over 20 years. He should know what I like. Let me at least give it a try. And I'm very patient with shows. Like, I will give it, like, a good hearing before I make a decision. And thank goodness I am that way in this case, because once I got there, I'm like, oh, fuck, we're cooking now. And it's honestly one of the best animated shows ever. And I that is a very elite class for me, because I'd say it's that. I'd say it's Avatar: The Last Airbender, because I've always preferred that more to Korra, but the entire universe is fucking gorgeous. Still looking at you, Avatar Studios, when you come out with shit. Rick and Morty, Gravity Falls, shows like that. I would say Owl House is getting up there. Depending on how they end, Owl House has been absolutely fucking delightful too. Yeah. But yeah, BoJack, that was the moment. You want to talk about a moment that sucked me back in? That, okay, I don't forgive you, changed everything. Oh my god, I was like, oh shit, we're really doing this. That's so awesome. So, yeah, that was great. But yeah, do you want to give your own answer? Because I just thought again about that era, but you probably have
So
other answers you
I
could
I
give.
don't really know if I can say anything about an actual proper like drama, like a scripted TV show. But the thing, believe it or not, that brought me back into wrestling, that brought me back to WWE, and specifically, I think it was Raw that I started watching again, was Sheamus beating John Cena at TLC 2009.
Oh yeah, that's a good answer. I like that.
Yeah, because I had not watched pretty much at all since Cena won the title at TLC against Edge. It wasn't a TLC pay per view; it was a TLC match against Edge in Toronto. I pretty much washed my hands of WWE at that point, and then yeah, this big, pale, redhead, freaky, roided up monster dude beating John Cena. I was like, oh shit, WWE's finally ready to move on from the Cena era. I'm going to give it another shot. And I enjoyed it for the most part. And then I found CM Punk, and he kind of kept me hooked. And then Danielson came along as Daniel Bryan, and he really kind of like dug me back in, kind of thing. So there you go.
Good shit. All right, next question.
Let's see. Our second question from Foster: name an unconventional food that you'd like to try on pizza.
Ooh, excellent question, Foster. God, you're so beautiful. But you already knew that. Let me think. Fuck it. Grape slices. Thin slices of grapes. I'm fucking so crazy about grapes. I'm wondering what that texture profile would be. That'd be insane.
You know
So I'll
what?
say yeah.
I already know that I like pepperoni on pizza. And I don't like sausage as its own food, but sausage on pizza I'm actually kind of okay with. So
Huh.
I think a different kind of meat that isn't traditionally used on pizza would be a really good answer for me. I've tried ground beef on pizza. It's horrible. Don't do it. It ruins it. But that said, I would love it to try slices of a nicely, like, medium to medium rare cooked steak on a pizza.
That actually sounds good.
Right?
Yeah, I can vibe with that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'd need to eat one slice and I'd be done because I'd be full by the time I finish the one slice.
Yeah.
All right. Third question. What is the funniest insult / nickname you've ever been given?
Oh God. Well, recently in my house, my family calls me a liberal because they know that I'm a communist. They love fucking with like my political beliefs and shit.
Wow.
So yeah, I'll say liberal's probably the funniest most recently.
Bro, it's actually ironic. My dad called me a liberal a few times when I went to his place. He literally, like, dude, just to show you how in the fucking weeds he is. The first time that I got to his place that he lives in now, because he came and picked me up and he took me because he knew that I was, not doing great financially and I didn't want to spend all the money on fuel to get to his place. So he came and got me and he took me. And I got there and they have a dog. And the dog was barking and barking and barking and going crazy. And my dad was like, he only acts that way around liberals,
My God. I'd say the only other answer I would give would be that my sister has sometimes called me Megamind. One, because my hairline's receding and I've got a lot of forehead real estate, and two, she just thinks I'm very smart. So, that's cool.
Oh
so,
yeah,
Megamind
Abel and the Gridiron Guild group call me the Oracle. And that's, it's a nickname, but it feels a lot like an insult because it kind of originates from the league, where the Oracle is like a teenage boy who has no life and is just really good at fantasy football.
Oh, damn.
So it's kind of a combination of, like, they'll use that term as like a term of endearment when I get something really, really right, like when I say something and then like a few months later it happens and I'm proven right, and they'll be like, oh shit, the Oracle strikes again. But they'll also use it as an insult because just in general, the Oracle is kind of an insulting name in the fantasy football space. I think my favorite nickname I've ever gotten, though, when I was like a 9th or 10th grader in high school, in gym class, there was a kid a grade or two above me that I was in a gym class with, and He knew my name was Ashton. It wasn't like an insulting, like, oh, I don't give a fuck what your name is, you're this now kind of thing. It was like an endearing thing. He called me Big Mike.
Oh wow,
And it
nice.
actually worked on multiple levels because my middle name is legitimately Michael. So it worked on multiple levels, and I was like, oh man, I'm in with the cool kids in the grade above me. I'm awesome.
Yeah, damn.
So yeah, that was cool. Those are the two that come to mind. Let's get into our fourth question though. What famous historical moments would have been improved if R-Truth appeared?
Declaration of Independence being signed by fucking far.
Bro,
It-
oh god, I don't even want to mess with the implications of a black dude showing up during that.
True, true. But if we could like insulate him in some time bubble, I'm pretty sure it would be okay. Hell, if we want to see how much his comedy can alleviate even the darkest moments, the Kennedy assassination, be curious how he could fucking life. Because goddamn, that was awful. Yeah, I'm trying to think what other historical moments.
The assassination of Sir Duke Franz Ferdinand.
Oh God, yeah. God, there are a lot of like minor historical moments too that you'd think. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of shit. Difficult. Socrates being condemned. Fuck, I'm a philosopher. I would love for R-Truth to be on that fucking jury. Because the funny thing is, ancient civilizations never had a concept of race. When they would say barbarian, it was never a racial thing. It was always like a geographic thing, like
Right.
a border thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually struggling more with this question than I thought I would, but I did give some answers, so I think I'll hand it over to you, my man. Do you have any more you want to give? 'Cause I know you
Yeah,
already gave up.
I'm thinking. I mean, the moon landing would be great.
Oh, dude, that's perfect. That's the best answer right there.
Okay. Last question of the Q&A, and of course, fifth from Foster. A problem has come up, and you can't film an episode, but you want to keep it a secret. What wrestler would you hire to play you for an episode?
MJF. I'm pretty much an MJF LARP as it is, so like just that fucking works out.
Sami
So yeah, I'll
Zayn.
say MJF. Perfect. Love that.
Nobody out overthinks things more than me, except maybe Sami Zayn.
I want you two to hang out now. Be great.
Plus, I know he'd represent my values well, so that's good too.
Yes, absolutely. Honestly, I almost want MJF and Kevin Owens tagging it out. Like when I get really turned up, then KO would be great. Because when he gets fired up on a promo, holy shit!
There'd be great chemistry between Sammy and KO too, because they're already best friends, so it would work really well.
There you go. There you fucking go. All right. Wow. What an easy fucking Q&A. That was genuinely under an hour. That's insane.
Yep.
That's got to be a first for Q&A. I feel like.
Probably first
Jesus.
since the first.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, guys, that's it. I'm not going to drag our feet. I like that this is getting done because I actually still need to do a little bit more stuff for Ash and I settle in for our night. So, here's the thing, and I kind of wanted to talk with Ashton about this, so maybe it's a good thing that we got done this early. Because the next Q&A, ideally, if we're doing this business as usual, would be November 24th. Now, I've already explained to Ashton that I've got family stuff going on. My sister told me, like, Thanksgiving, I'm not going to be free. So,
December
the way I
1st.
look- yeah, I was thinking if you're cool with December 1st, we could do that. Or at the very least, if you want to do Q&A later on the 24th, maybe we can make that work, because I know our reservation
No,
is
dude.
5, so if you want to do
We
Q&A
actually
like
did
that-
Q&A in the first Thursday in December last year too, I want to say, or at least relatively recently, like within the last 2 or 3 years, we actually did the same thing. So we can just do it again this year.
Yeah,
Because
Yeah,
then we'll do it on
that-
December 1st, and then we'll still have 4 weeks before our next one on December 29th.
yeah. I'm glad that we're kind of on the same page, because I know we did that before, and I'm like, oh, we can just do that again. So yeah, there you go, guys.
Yeah.
December 1st will be our next Q&A. Get your questions in. You guys already know the deal. My pinned tweet is the easiest way to get questions in. I'm going to change it as soon as this video is over. Discord is also a great place. We have a Q&A channel specifically dedicated to getting Q&A questions. Discord membership is $3 a month. 5 Q&A questions will cost you, $1 minimum. If you haven't donated to the Patreon, you only get 3 Q&A questions. So December 1st, get them in. Thank you guys so much for the questions you did submit. Wow, what a compact Q&A this was. Goddamn. Yeah, so thank you guys. Enjoy your break, because we won't be back until Wednesday with more content. So if you're a Stardom fan like we are, you can process the fucking magnificence we got today with Mayu and Utami. And if you're just chilling, cool. Cool. It's fucking fall. It's beautiful weather right now, at least where I am. Hope it's beautiful weather for you guys too, especially as it seems like the world is not getting any better. So find happiness where you can. You deserve it. So yeah, we will see you then. I guess for Discord members, the only thing I would say is join us tomorrow at 8 for games. We're not doing Rampage, so we'll just be able to, kind of chill a little bit. No need to like rush anything else. And yeah, it's all good. So I'm gonna hand it over to Ash and take us home.
All right, everyone. We hope you enjoyed Q&A. Remember to like the video, subscribe, click the bell, and follow us on Twitter and Twitch. If you'd like to support us, you can subscribe on Twitch, buy our merch on Spring, donate to our Patreon, and share this channel and this video with all your wrestling fan friends. And of course, like John said, we will not be back until Wednesday night to review Dynamite, so we hope that you're all looking forward to that in 6 days. God, it's going to be a very, very nice 5-day break, basically, since, today's one day, and then we have, you get the idea. I think John and I could both use it for sure. Although it's not even really going to be a full-on break for me because I've got shit that I need to do in the meantime. So we hope that you guys are going to enjoy your time off. I know that we're going to enjoy ours. We hope that you're all able to relax a little bit, enjoy the holiday, enjoy Halloween, and watch your spooky movies, and just have nice chill days in, and just enjoy your life, man. We'll see you next Wednesday, and of course, if in order for that to happen, you're going to have to remember to stay tuned.